Okay, evidently I ran out of desk space, so I'm going to have to do part 3 all over again. Part 3 is because I forgot to add something kind of important. And the reason I forgot was because I'm using a urinal. So the CNAs here, it's a really weird situation because some of them think it's one way, some of them think it's another way, and some of them think it's yet a third way. So there's 3 different ways that people think of doing their rounds, as they put it. What I did was because they either got mad because I turned my light on because I need to be changed and say, I'm in the middle of my rounds, you're going to have to wait. Or I wouldn't put the light on and they would never come and change me. So I was like, I went to DON, the director of nursing, and I said, how do I get on this list of people that get checked? Well, the way that it's supposed to work, and I've been told by nurses over in the nursing home I was in before, nurses here, CNAs here, CNAs over there, the administrator over there. The way it's supposed to work is that the check and change, or the rounds, as they call it, is for them to be looking for people who, either for whatever reason, will not tell them that they need to be changed. Either they can't, they're unaware, they don't want to touch them, whatever. People like me who put on the light when we need to be changed, they're supposed to stop, not in the middle of being in a room, but when they go from one room to the other, when they're supposed to come into our room and see what we need. If we need water, get the water. If we need to be changed, they change us, and then they go back to what they were doing. That's what they're supposed to do. This is what everybody has told me. This is what they're supposed to do, except for the CNAs that got it wrong. They think they're supposed to do their rounds. Then after they finish their rounds, then they'll do whatever the heck it is that you want. Well, then why aren't you coming in here? Why am I always last? Why am I always an afterthought? Because they're wrong. That's what the problem is. Well, in addition to that, I've actually had a CNA refuse to give me water because she was doing her rounds. She was in this room changing me. And before she changed me, I said, well, I'm going to need some water. And I thought I heard her say, I'm doing after my rounds. And I'm like, well, I must have misheard that. So when she finished and she was getting her stuff packed up and getting ready to go to the next room, I said, well, make sure you get me some water. And that's because of one of the medications they gave me dry mouth. Still, I still take that medication. But she refused. Now there's a sink right there. So all she had to do is grab my cup, put some water in it, put it down. It would have took her 30 seconds tops. She refused 4 times to get me some water. She refused when she was standing right where I'm at now. She refused when she was standing. She could have just reached over and grabbed the water spigot. And then she refused over there. I asked her twice when she was at the door. The last time I threw my cup down on the table and it bounced, and of course it bounced towards her. And she said, oh, you almost hit me. Now I was mad at the time. And I said, oh, you mean I missed you? So she thinks I intentionally threw it at her. I didn't. It was an accident. But I was taking, because of what she said, I was like, oh, you mean I missed you? Because she deserved no less. And she still refused to give me water and left. Now, I hadn't had water since it had been over 6 hours. And as I've said in the previous parts, sometimes the CNAs don't answer the call lights for hours. It was one of those nights when they didn't answer the call light. And so I had been sitting for about 6 hours waiting for somebody to come in and give me some water. And this was at night, so I had fallen asleep. So when I woke up, I had her come in there and change me. And then asked for some water. She came in pretty quick, actually, that time. That was on third shift, night shift. I was actually kind of surprised. Because usually on night shift, I'm like, up until recently, I was kind of on my own. There's a lot of times there was nobody here at all. There's no nurse, no CNA. My light would be on for 5 hours. Nobody would come and answer it until the morning. And then they'd do their rounds just before breakfast, kind of thing. Or they wouldn't do them at all if there was no CNA. And then that's another thing. I go on the nurses' video where the nurses think they're above doing CNA work, even if there is no CNA. Their number one priority should be us, not whether there's a CNA here or not. And there's a couple of nurses that do. If they don't have a CNA, they'll do it. I shouldn't have to wait for hours and hours. They should say, hey, I can't find my CNA, let me go ahead and knock this out, or whatever it may be. And that goes down to water. Anyway, that's another video. So, all right, that's the rounds thing. They're stuck on this rounds business. I don't understand what that's all about. They're supposed to do rounds for people who will not tell them, and then in the middle, if someone puts the light on the instant call light, then go back to what they're doing. Pretty simple stuff. In addition, there's something similar to rounds that they're very hooked on, and that's if they bring breakfast, lunch, or dinner to you. They bring you food, right? They bring the trays out. Once the trays are on the floor, that's it. Now, some of them think they're not supposed to give you once the trays are on the floor. And that means out here by the nursing station, not even in your room, that they're not allowed to do anything other than give you your tray and then wait for you to finish eating. Pick the tray up, put the tray back on the thing, put the rack back in the kitchen, and then they can start doing their job again. Are you kidding me? I was told by the administrator in the other nursing home and this DOM that what they're supposed to do is if they've already entered your room, that's when the cross-contamination problem is. So if you stop them before they come in your room, they're supposed to, now this was actually the administrator over there. The